Yo, Still Bills, what's the deal, man? Y'all know how the story goes. I just dropped my daughter off at daycare and I'm heading to the motherfucking plantation. Me and my big ass forehead, man. But peep game, man, we got to rap about some shit. And that shit that we got to rap about is these motherfucking daddies. These niggas who don't want to get out of the way and let their son be the champions and the man that they allegedly raised him to be, man. Lopez Sr., it wasn't enough that, his son just had a triumphant comeback after all the shit that he went through last year. Battling mental health, physical health, allegedly. So for him to come back, I mean, it was an embarrassing loss that he took to George Kambosos. He still hasn't gotten over that. That's his defense mechanism to cope with losing. Him, conjuring up all these conspiracy plots of, Eddie Hearn being against them, and they wanted to give Devin Haney the titles or whatever the case may be. They had it out for him. Everything that he said about everything that Deontay Wilder was saying, minus a murder plot, is pretty much what Teofimo Lopez said as to why he lost to George Kambosos. The most ridiculous shit in the world, but it just goes to show where his mental health is at. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's clearly not all the way there. So we get from that to where we are at now, and him winning, beating Pedro Campos. Pedro Campos on Saturday night, and he needed that for himself. He needed all that glory. He needed to be reminded that, there's still people who fuck with me, even though I ain't one of them niggas. There's still people that fuck with me. They got, they got love for me. I got love out here. There's people who still in my corner rooting for me. Everybody ain't against me. He needed that. He needed to bask in all of that glory and not have none of his light dimmed by antics of motherfuckers just wanting to be a part of the celebration, man. So here his pops comes, jumping in front of him, in front of the camera, posing. Like, what is... I'm all for father-son combinations in any sport. I think that's dope for a son to have that tight-knit of a relationship with their father, to where they will allow... they say, I'm gonna humble myself as a grown-ass man, and I still need your guidance. I still need your fatherly and parental guidance to navigate me through these times. So I'm going to go against the grain and not go and find another coach, but continue to let you be my coach. You was taking care of me. You looked out for me when I was growing up. You did it. You sacrificed a lot for me. I'm sacrificing for you now, because now I'm putting money in your pocket as my coach. I think that's a beautiful thing, man. But it gets to a point where it becomes a hindrance, man, because these daddies don't know how to let their sons be the men that they raised them to be. They just don't get it. You, my son, I raised you, so whatever glory you get, I get. I still remember Angel Garcia smacking Danny Garcia in the face. Like, bro, we not Italian. Them ain't black folk, but y'all not Italian. Them is the only motherfuckers I know who do that shit in their culture. Smack the shit out of you. They do that. You dig? This is a grown-ass man that's a prize fighter, and you would slap him in his face on national TV, or not, it was on pay-per-view or whatever. But bro, I think it was for the Lucas Matisse fight. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with you? That's the shit that I like. It bothers me. Like, when it's a popular trend that I've been noticing, and I want to say it started with it was a dude down in Louisiana who thought it would be cool to discipline his either his son or his nephew. It would be cool to discipline him for the world to see. And he took a belt. This boy is in high school, so he's on the brink of manhood. He took because he was gang banging. or he was running with some wolves down there and getting caught up in some dumb shit. So he thought it would be the logical thing to do to take a belt and whoop his son like he's in the 5th and the 6th grade. Whooping stop at a certain age, and you got to start to deal with that man as a man. And if y'all got to come to blows just because it's two men clashing, you got to respect that man is going through manhood. You can't embarrass him like he's no child. A nigga would die over some shit like that, because you're challenging him like a man. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, when he did that shit, he ended up getting clipped a few months down the line. People don't understand that takes a psychological toll on you, being the punchline of everybody's jokes. Kids are some fucked up motherfuckers. You don't think they was laughing at that man and teeing off on that man, and he did everything he could possibly do to remove that stain off of his reputation. Sure, if I call your uncle to get, whoop your ass again. That shit is embarrassing. I never understood people discipline their kids in public settings. Discipline happens in a sacred setting. And for him to do that shit, for the world to see, was just like, yo, bro. And then after it's said and done, and you realize, yo, man, my son got laid down here, because he probably out here hitting licks and busting on niggas and sliding and all that shit, because he's going to infinity and beyond to get that stain off of his jacket. It's the same shit with Angel Garcia and Danny Garcia, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You gonna slap your grown ass son in the face? No, dude, no. That is not the move. That is not the move, bro. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I mean, shit, man. Teofimo Lopez said it himself. I need my father to be my father at times. The nigga was crying before the Lomachenko fight. He was an emotional wreck. I need you to be my pop. Stop trying to be the homie. That's not your that's not your title. That's not your lane. Be my dad. I think it's dope you can kick it with your son like he the homie, but you also have to understand you are my seed. I spit you out of my loin, dog. I'm still your father at the end of the day, and I also need you to understand as a father that eventually your time with being that disciplinary in your son's life is going to come to an end. And usually it comes to an end by the time they hit their late teens, if they still in your household. By the time they hit 15 and 16 years old, you have to start respecting their manhood, because they're on the brink of manhood. You have to respect that, otherwise it's going to breed conflict. So you can still give them guidance, you can still get on their ass, but that walking around with your chest poked out and ruling with an iron fist, that shit is over with at a certain age. That shit is over with. And a lot of these parents who they transition from father to coach, they don't quite understand that shit. They don't quite understand that shit. Even with a regular coach, you get all right, cool. A coach will get on your ass and really bang on you. But it takes a disciplined father to not only coach you, and when it's time to get on your ass, but still have a sense of decorum while he's doing that. A father will sit there and try and berate and belittle you like, you my son, I'm gonna whoop your ass if you don't do this and you don't do that, because you got it in your mind, this is my son, this is how I grew, this is how you was raised. Get your motherfucking ass over there and this and that and the third, before I get the belt. All that bullshit. And you so fucked up in the head that you don't realize that, bro. Like, in your eyes, this is ordinary mode. This is a normality. So you don't see you doing nothing wrong. You don't see you doing nothing wrong. But when that distance starts to get created, you ain't gonna be able to, like, why is he acting like this? Bitch ass nigga, why was you acting like that? Roy Jones Jr. eventually had to separate from his pops. Felix Trinidad, the same thing. Y'all gonna have to learn to fall back and let your son be a man. It still bothers me with the Shawn Porter and Kenny Porter thing, man. Just I'm watching this dude, and his training footage and how his pop. Don't do it your way, do it my way. My way. Just kind of just like barking on them and berating them and shit like that. And it's just like, it just bothered me, man. A coach would do that with his fighter, yeah, man. But it's just Kenny Porter just is a dude who had too much authority in his child's life. He had too much. There's no way you should be living across the street from your pops. No fucking way. No way. Vegas is too big for you to be living across the street from your goddamn daddy. You know what I'm saying? And the thing was so wicked about it was that fight that, you know what, Shawn Porter looked the best he ever looked in that fight with Bud. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. That was Shawn Porter at his best. He looked better against Bud than he did with Spence. He did. Well, you could argue with it, or I don't know, but no, we ain't even got to say it was the best performance. We can say it was a great performance. And what does Kenny Porter do immediately after the fight? He's placing blame on him. We didn't have a good training camp. He didn't do this in training camp. He didn't do that in training camp. That's a goddamn lie, and we saw that. We saw he did all that in training camp because it bore good fruit in the fight. The thing is, he just wasn't better than Bud. He just wasn't better than Bud. So what does Shawn Porter do immediately after that fight? He retires. He'd rather retire. Shawn Porter got hella years left. He got hella years left, but he doesn't want to have to go through the, you know, he has such a high level of respect for his father that he doesn't want to have to be able to look his father in his face and look at that look of disappointment in his father's face when he tells him, yo, I'm gonna have to go and get another coach. I gotta get another coach. So before he would look his pops in the face and say, I'm going in this direction and being my own man, he would just say, I'll retire. I'ma just hang him up. Shawn Porter ain't old. Dude is younger than me. What are we talking about here? Y'all are gonna have to fall the fuck back and let these dudes that y'all raised be the men that y'all raised them to be. Get the fuck out of the way. Get the fuck out of the way. Know when it's your time. All right, cool. I had a lot to do with this fight right here. Now I can get in the camera. Let your son invite you to the camera. Pops, get in this picture with me. Nah, talk to my pops. It's nothing I can say better than my pops because he's the reason that I got through this fight. Not just the game plan and all that, but the extra motivation that comes outside of actually training for this fight. Know when to be that dude. Know when, all right, cool. Yo, this is your night. This is your night. All the virtue and all the goddamn morale and integrity I installed and downloaded in you as a child in your youth, it transitioned into your adulthood. I'm proud of the man that you have become. You enjoy that. And get the fuck out of the way and let that man be his own man. I can't stand you all in the video ass niggas. Can't stand that shit. I don't even remember Shawn Porter talking after he lost to Bud. The minute he lost, here come Kenny Porter all in the camera telling he didn't do this, he didn't do that. And Shawn Porter just got this look of embarrassment on his face. It's like, damn, man, Pops really do. It's embarrassing enough that he lost. But you gonna run him down, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Man, I really can't stand you niggas, man, when y'all do that shit is move the fuck out of the way. Y'all are hindering them, man. Even with Angel Garcia, oh man, Danny Garcia lost to Earl Spitz because of the COVID pandemic and all that shit. What? COVID or some shit like that. He was having a mental man, you better get the fuck up out of here. Do I doubt he was going through something? No. I don't know that man's personal life. I don't doubt that he was going through something fucked up in the game. I honestly don't. But COVID? Nah, homie. Nah, that is not a legitimate excuse. COVID. Nah. Y'all are hindering these dudes. Y'all are hindering y'all are hindering them. Y'all are hindering them from being the fighters, the men that that y'all allegedly tried to raise them to be. Get the fuck out of the camera and let that man have this moment for himself. What the fuck? It's always an excuse, man. I mean, even Chris Eubank told Chris Eubank Jr., you You ain't ready for no goddamn Canelo. Like, Canelo would beat the shit out of you. He told him that. He told him that. You can't fuck with Canelo, little nigga. You out of your... No. You're not ready for that fight. You're not ready. Sorry, not sorry. That's guidance right there. That's, yeah, you my son, I love you, and I think you have all the talent in the world to eventually get to that level, but I also don't want to see you fucked up in the game. I don't want to see your career derailed because you prematurely took a fight that you wasn't ready for. No. Let's prep for that. That's the elite level right there. You're not ready for that just yet. Y'all would tell y'all, so, which, I mean, you know, Danny and Sean Porter and not Lomachenko, but Teofimo, they're world-class fighters. You know, they were ready for the fighters that they fought. But when they lost, instead of just saying the better man won, they had every excuse in the book. They just coddle these dudes. They coddle them. You still my little boy, you still my little man, and I love you, and then all that shit. That's cool and everything, man, but know when to get the fuck out of the way. God damn. I didn't like when Bill Haney was trying to get the fight out of Australia with him and George Kambosos. I didn't like that at all, because I'm like, you almost tricked off a fight. You almost tricked off an opportunity for your son. But Bill Haney ain't even with that. Bill Haney ain't that nigga to be all in the video. No, that's just not his get down. And I love that about him. Like, bro, like, nah, man, this is your life. I took care of you as a child. You're in a position to take care of me as an adult. Cool. That merits a certain level of respect. Y'all not seeing the money that y'all seeing now if it ain't for your sons. He's the breadwinner. So the same way you wanted that respect when he was coming up in your household and you was paying all the bills, give him that same respect. Because he's paying your bills. Get the fuck out the way. Teofimo is going to have to get away from Lopez, from Senior, bro. He's going to have to. He's got to, because this shit is eventually going to turn chaotic. A lot more chaotic than what it actually is, man. If you can't respect the fact that your son is his own man and doesn't need you being his spokesperson, if him going on live TV and just pouring his heart out for the world to see, telling you to be his dad, if that ain't enough for you to say, all right, yo, let me fall back, then you're never gonna get it. You are never gonna get it. And they admire and adore y'all so much that they would allow them to y'all to hinder them and cripple their career and their success and their progress. So they ain't got to deal with and cope with the fact that I had to fire my father. Just that overbearing father. Your footprint is just deep in their lives like that. They can't move without you telling them what direction to go. As a grown-ass man. I really just cannot stand that shit, man. It bothers me, man, because I will kill a nigga over my pops. I absolutely would. And I wouldn't even think twice about it. But we eventually had to have our back and forth, because it's like, my nigga, I'm a grown-ass man with 3 kids. You're not going to be able to talk to me like that. You're not about to sit here and... But just know, bro, you're not about to get on my Facebook status and talk about how, no, you can't run that shit on me. Because if I get on your Facebook status or whatever status, saying whatever it is I want to say, being combative on your post, you're going to have something to say about it. You're going to feel some type of way because you're not an argumentative dude. I like to argue. I like to debate. I like to do all that shit. But that's not his lane. He doesn't like that. When you do that with him, you stepping on my toes. You trying to usurp my authority, and I don't like it. But you can do that with me, and this shit has to stop. You can hang up in my face and cuss me the fuck out, but if I did that to you, you trying to throw Bible verses at me. You know what I'm saying? Honor thy mother, thy father, all that bullshit. Nah, we got to nip this in the bud. You gonna have to respect my manhood. You gonna have to respect that, because I damn sure respect yours. So I just need a little bit of, reciprocation. Your pops couldn't do that to you. What makes you think you can just do that to me and I'm just supposed to bow down and take that shit? No. Nah. Eventually, the boys who grew to men are gonna have those type of interactions with their pops at one point in time. I hope I never have that type of reaction with my son at any point in time. Why? Because even now I respect him. I respect my daughter in the now. I respect my daughter's privacy in the now. I've always told her, until you give me a reason not to trust you, I trust you. So don't breach my trust. I give my children that level of respect. I give them that level of respect. When you trust them like that, you respect their space and everything, they're that much more open to come and holler at you about certain shit. And maybe they're not. Maybe they are being sneaky. It's a possibility, but I can't punish you on a notion that I may have about you because of what other kids did when they was your age, or maybe what I did when I was your age. No, I'll give you that opportunity to fuck up, and once you fuck up, we'll go from there. But until then, you have my trust. So these is as kids. My oldest is 14 years old. My middle child is 3. My middle child is 9. My baby is 4. I give you that trust. I'll give you that spacing. I'll gladly do that. And I don't feel no type of way about saying that. And hopefully, as they become adults, hopefully that, what I did, whatever with morals and virtues I installed in them as a kid, it bears good fruit and real, all right, cool. And me and you can have the most beautiful relationship as father-daughter, father-son. You still have that respect for me as your daddy. I still have that respect for you as my son and my daughters. We just have that bond with one another. We respect each other. It's genuine A1 love. It's genuine A1 love, but it's also that respect there. Like, my pops never was really that rule with an iron fist ass nigga. That's never been me. I've never wanted to be him. I've never wanted to overexert myself in their lives. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that. And that's what parents don't understand, especially as parents transition into coaches. My wife, you need to try and get there. Why don't you try and be a basketball coach? No, I wasn't good enough at basketball myself to coach nobody. I know how to play basketball, but to be a coach, no. Let the coach do his damn job. He played at the highest level you could possibly think of that most cats get to, college and overseas. He played at that level. I didn't. Let him coach. But I was trying to step on his toes. Oh, man, you ain't being fair to myself. No, that's not what I'm doing. It's not what I'm doing. So you have to give, the moral of the story is you got to give your child space and room to operate and make his mistakes and all that shit, man, and give him guidance without, overexerting your authority and your presence in their life. That eventually runs its course. And by the time it's run its course, it could have corroded y'all relationship, man. And that shit with Lomachenko and his pops, that's a catastrophe waiting to happen with the little goofy shit that he does. If it's not enough for you to get that this man is bearing his fucking soul on national TV, just be my pops. But give me that respect as a man. If that ain't enough for you to understand, all right, maybe I need to fall back. Maybe if that ain't enough for you to say, all right, man, let me not rain on this dude's parade and jump in front of him, in front of the camera, and strike this pose. If that's not enough for you to understand, I don't know what it's gonna take for you to get it. I think it would, because you ain't got no other fighters at your disposal right now. It would take him saying, yo, I'm outie. I can't fuck with you right now. Get the fuck out of the way. Get the fuck out of the way. Please and fucking thank you. Get out of the way. That's the moral of the story. Let y'all sons be men. God damn. Let them be the men that they are, that y'all allegedly raised them to be. I don't want to hear that shit. All that extra shit. I don't want to see all that extra shit. All in the fucking video and shit, man. Y'all know y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves, man. All you goddamn daddies out there who do little buster shit like that. All of y'all niggas, man. That's pretty much all I gotta say about it, man. I'm going to work. I'll holler at y'all later, man. man. I see y'all when I see y'all, man. Deuces.